Facts First presents. He didn't call after their date, and 33 years on, she learned the painful truth. When Karen Lynch and Rick Hayward were in high school, they went on their first date. Karen thought the date was great, and she was sure that Rick would definitely call her again. But he didn't, and she had no idea why. She thought things were going to move forward, but he didn't call after that date, and 33 years passed before she finally learned why. First, though, help us spread the word about Facts First by clicking that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. It was in the late 70s that the couple went on their date. The two were going to school in Pennsylvania, and they were on their date at a bowling alley in Willow Grove. During the date, Karen felt an instant connection with him. Things were so great that Karen was sure Rick was going to call. Well, Karen waited by the phone, but Rick never called, ever. Now, at first, she was surprised, but then her surprise turned to disappointment. Time passed, and after weeks and months, Karen realized Rick was not going to call. And as the years went by, Karen moved on with her life, as did Rick. They both married different people, they both had children. Unfortunately, neither of their marriages worked out, and they both ended in divorce. And in 2010, fate intervened. 7 years before, Karen and Rick found one another on Facebook. It was a chance encounter that Karen had always hoped for. When Rick had been out of her life for 3 decades, she still wanted to know why he never called her back after that first date. She wanted an explanation, even now, 30 years later. Well, the two were keeping in touch on Facebook for a while, and Rick finally decided to take the next step. It was 33 years after their first date, and he decided to call Karen and ask for, finally, a second date. He thought it'd be a long shot after he never called her after that first date, but he decided to go ahead and give it a try anyway. And she accepted. After their second date, Rick wanted a third, and soon the couple were officially dating. Karen did ask Rick, though, why he never called her for a second date so long ago, and he had a pretty simple answer for it. He was shy. Every time he tried to pick up the phone to call her, he ended up losing the nerve to do so. He said he had tried to call her every day, but he was just too shy to go through with it. Finally, after too much time had passed, he was sure that he'd missed his opportunity with her. He thought so much time had passed since that first date that she'd probably be way too angry to want a second date at that point. According to Rick, as soon as they had that second date, 30 years later, he knew he wanted to marry Karen. He decided to take Karen shopping for a ring. Now, it wasn't supposed to be an engagement ring, just something that Karen would find special. Well, that's what Karen thought at least, but Rick had other ideas. When they got to the jewelry store, Karen was trying on rings, and that was when the store clerk came over and handed Rick a ring. Rick gave Karen the ring and asked her to try it on, and it was then that he proposed. Karen didn't even think about it. She said yes immediately. Karen says Rick is an incredible person. He's a gentleman, and he is her best friend. She says that he's everything that she's been looking for and some things she never even knew she wanted. Rick says that the love that he has with Karen is a void that's always been felt in his life until she came back into the picture. Rick says Karen brought love back into his life and that she makes him feel whole. Rick asked her to join him on a trip to New York City so that they could find her the perfect wedding dress. What she didn't know was that he also had something else up his sleeve. Karen was shocked when a limo pulled up in front of her house. When she got in, Rick took out an iPad, and on it there was a message from Rachel Ray, the TV personality. After she heard the couple's story, she wanted to have them on her TV show. She wanted to do more than just interview them, though. She was going to help them get married. Over the next 24 hours, the couple got their marriage license, they shopped for wedding dresses, and they made all their preparations. When her best friend, Dory Purdy, showed up, Karen was thrilled. Everything was set. It was perfect. With their friends and family together, Karen and Rick got married on Valentine's Day on The Rachel Ray Show. And still the surprises were not over for Karen. The show also paid for them to take a luxury honeymoon to a resort in Mexico on a private beach. The resort had a golf course, fine dining, and all-day room service. All expenses paid. Rick and Karen's story is like a fairy tale, isn't it? They waited 33 years to have a second date. and then they had the wedding of their dreams. It truly is a romantic story. Subscribe for more.